Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit.
Hello friends and my lovely viewers, welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna take a look at our new reindeer / Christmas inspired clan. We will discuss their appearances and go through their active, passive and ultimate skills. Finally, by the end of this video, we will speculate on which champion may be better among the female and male from this clan. And also, I really wonder if these Christmas champs are worth summoning for. When receiving a special clan in the Christmas month, in my opinion, Bloodline should make them strong as well. But let's see. It is no surprise that these champions look like Rudolph. The only thing remaining would be the red nose, if you know what I mean. But they're not a full-blown reindeer either. It is more like a hybrid between half human and half reindeer. And I don't know about the male yet, but the female, as we can see, looks quite lovely. She has a magical and spiritual appearance that I think is very suitable with the month. Oh, and additionally to that, what really made me think of Christmas is the snowy background, as we can see. Well, anyways, she looks like a guardian of the forest. I'd give her a 7 out of 10, appearance-wise. Before I get lost in my own track of endless words, let's see the male champion now. It is so goddamn magical. I love Christmas, to be honest. Everything is amazing as long as it snows and, doesn't start raining while Christmas Eve is going on. That is just so sad. Have you experienced it before? 'Cause my friend has. And she was not one bit happy about it. Back to the topic. I feel like the male is slightly more majestic, which makes me want to rate him an 8 out of 10, appearance-wise. But I don't know. It may also be that he has a better forest background, and it makes him stand out more. Anyways, I will stick with the rating I decided for him, so that we can move on to their skills next. Let us start with the male champion this time. His active skill is called Tactical Transformation. If this skill is cast in marksman form, he will dash to current target and deal damage equal to 520% of his own strength. He also inflicts stun effect for 3 seconds before switching to warrior form. Wait, what? Do these champions have 2 different classes? Or is this something else? 'Cause it only shows that they are marksmen though. This skill is already sounding interesting. Let's continue. If this skill is cast while he's in the warrior form, he will attack the current target, and in doing so, he deals about 520% damage of his own strength. This attack also knocks back the enemy and inflicts lockdown for 3 seconds. Our enemy will back off a short distance after the attack and switch back to marksman form. So this active skill of his is very dependent on which current form he is in. When he is a marksman, he will deal damage and inflict stun, while if he is a warrior, when using the active skill, he will deal damage, knock back enemies and inflict lockdown. And of course, additionally he backs off a short distance before switching form. That makes perfect sense as he is returning to his marksman form, which is a long distance, It is a very unique skill. I cannot tell for sure which one of these active skill versions are better, but it doesn't really matter which is better, since the form will keep switching from each time the active skill is being used. So yeah, but I feel like we're having a good start here. Time for his passive skill now. Kivak Marksmanship. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention, but the clan name of these lovely reindeer champs is Kivak. It is kind of a cute name if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Anyways, allow me to attempt to break down this long passive skill for you all. Our champion has 2 combat forms, Marksman, which is long ranged, and Warrior, which is more of a melee type. Each form gives different bonus buffs, which we will probably get to know now. When our champion is in the Marksman form, his attack speed will be increased by 30%, and each attack deals an additional damage equal to 12% of the target's current constitution. This is capped at 500% of our champion's strength. That was all about the marksman form. So basically, when our reindeer champion is in the marksman form, he will have an increased attack speed, which makes perfect sense with the form, and the attacks will be a little bit more heavier. As in, each long-range marksman attack will also deal additional damage according to our champion's constitution. I can totally imagine this play out on the battlefield, and it looks really cool. Let's read the rest of the skill to see which buffs he will have in the warrior form. So in the warrior form, his strength will increase by 25%, and each attack will deal an additional damage equal to 12% of the target's constitution loss. This is capped at 500% of our champion's strength. Oh, there is more to the skill. So each time our champion switches form, the buff from the previous form will be capped for 3 seconds. This effect cannot be removed and doesn't stack. So the main difference between his forms is that his marksman form grants more attack speed, while his warrior form grants more strength, aka damage. Both forms are given the additional damage bonus buff. And I especially like the last part of this skill. Cause imagine, the more we make him switch form, aka the more often we use his active skill, the more buffs will be active in the passive skill. To be more specific, every single time he switches form, he will have all the buffs from both forms active for 3 seconds, aka the increase of 30% attack speed, the 25% increase of strength, and the additional damage equal to 12% of the target's current constitution. I am liking it, but we cannot forget about his ultimate skill. Let's check it out so we get a proper understanding of this champion. Combat Seal. Did I pronounce it correctly? I really hope so. So in this ultimate skill of his, he will immediately receive the bonus buffs from both combat forms. This can simultaneously exist with the passive skills buffs. Our champion becomes immune to control effects and gains 25% lifesteal for 8 seconds. Nice. Each attack will reduce the active skill's cooldown by 12% while the lifesteal effect is going on. That is exactly what we needed, to be honest. So for the 8 seconds, every attack will reduce the active skill's cooldown by 12%. How many attacks can we launch within these 8 seconds though? Perhaps it is more beneficial for us to be in the marksman state when using this skill. You know, then we would have more attack speed, which means we can deal more attacks than usual. And yeah, I believe what is meant by the first lines of this ultimate skill is that we will get all the buffs from both forms added on top of the current buffs we have in the form we are in. So if you want to deal massive damage to the enemy rather than reducing the active skill's cooldown, then use your active skill to switch over to your warrior form. But if you rather want to focus on reducing the active skill's cooldown faster, then switch to marksman before using this ultimate skill. It is all about preference, cause you may even deal a lot of damage by being the marksman when activating the ultimate, simply cause the active skill recovers faster and thus you can deal more damage in the long run. Anyways, this all being said, did I properly explain it? If you are unsure of how his skills work, let me know in the comments below and I will try my best to explain it better. Now, what is your opinion about the male champion though? Is he worth it or nah? Let's take some time to think. And meanwhile, allow me to thank my sponsor real quick. This video is sponsored by AppGallery. In case you don't know what AppGallery is, it is a great app store where you can download all your favorite games from. It's just like a regular app store, apart from the fact that it has amazing rewards that is specialized depending on different games. A good news for Bloodline players is that at the moment AppGallery has some amazing offers for the players of the game. You will get a 30% worth of coupon that can be used for all purchases over 23 USD, while also enjoying a 15% cashback for all purchases made in Bloodline. They also have a VIP program for the more heavy spenders, as you can see on the screen. Anyways, if you're planning to download AppGallery, just follow the step-by-step process that's on the screen at the moment. And for more details, check out the description below. Oh, they also have a giveaway going on right now, so feel free to join their Discord, whose link I will share below as well. By the way, before I forget, let me just mention that AppGallery is available for all Android devices, as well as all the emulators such as LD Player, Nox, BlueStacks, and so on. So yeah, download AppGallery today and enjoy amazing advantages and promotions starting today. Before we completely make up our minds about this male champion or the clan in general, I think we should check out the female champion first. So let's go. Her active skill is called Nimble Pounce. She will leap backwards and throw spears at 4 random enemies, including the current target of hers. If there are enemies nearby when she casts this skill, then she will leap in the opposite direction of the nearest enemy and throw spears at 4 random enemies. Each spear will deal damage equal to 380% of her strength, as well as inflict silence effect that lasts for 1 second. She gains immunity while leaping backwards too. So the skill acts differently according to whether there are enemies nearby or not. No enemies nearby means she just leaps right backwards before throwing the spears. While if there are enemies nearby, then she will leap backwards away from the nearest enemy before throwing the spears. Regardless of whichever outcome we have, each of the 4 spears she throws will deal damage equal to 380% of her strength. The spears also silence them, by the way. So yeah, I kinda like this active skill of hers. Also take note that the total damage she deals can become a stunning 1520% damage of her strength altogether. I wonder though, is there a chance for the spears to miss the enemies? Like, what if there are only 2 enemies left? Then this skill wouldn't benefit her much, right? Unless the spears can hit the same enemy and stuff. But who knows, right? It is not mentioned here either. Let us see her passive skill now, which is called Kivak Piercing Spear. Whenever she uses normal attacks or active skill, the spear has a 30% chance to trigger a piercing effect. This piercing effect will ignore 30% of the target's strength resistance and fortitude. When our champion gets triggered by this effect, she will also recover her constitution by 25% of the damage dealt. And the active skill's cooldown will be reduced by 10%. So, to break it down, there is a certain chance for her to ignore 30% of the target's strength resistance and fortitude every time she uses either a normal attack or the active skill attack. And additionally, if the mentioned effect triggers, then her constitution will be recovered according to the damage dealt, and the active skill's cooldown will be reduced by a certain percentage. The skill looks interesting, not gonna lie. It is like a enemy debuff and self-buffing passive. Enemy becomes weaker to our champion's attacks, while our champion recovers constitution. It is time for us to see our ultimate skill now, which is called Battlefield Maneuver. When this ultimate is cast, the active skill's cooldown will be refreshed immediately. The attack speed will be increased by 40% for 7 seconds. And during these 7 seconds, the spears that are thrown by the active skill and normal attacks will have a 100% hit rate. The passive skill's chance to trigger the piercing effect is also doubled, which means the spear will have a 60% chance to trigger the effect instead of the previous 30%. I am a little confused. Hit rate? So does this mean that there originally is not a 100% chance for the spears to hit the enemy? This is what I was assuming and fearing earlier. But perhaps it just means the champion will deal more damage. I am confused, but anyways, I like the double chance of triggering piercing effects. That will seriously help us deal more damage in the active skill. And also the increased attack speed may contribute a little. But honestly, I am not sure about this champion. I feel like there may be quite a bit of loopholes in her skills, like for instance the hit rate. Will she for sure hit all the enemies with her spears? And what happens if there are only 2 enemies left in the opponent team? This also makes me think she is better for multi-target fights rather than team versus boss. Cause at least in a multi-target battle, we will be more certain that she actually uses her total potential, not just half or quarter of it. Now, if we look at the male for a second, I would say he works really well in all types of battles. I cannot really put him in a box, to be honest. I guess I would say that he is decent in both PvP and PvE. It is completely up to you how you want to use these champions. Now, like always, I will share my conclusion about these champions when I upload my next video. Until then, I have a few questions for you guys. What do you think of these champions as a whole? Do you think they're worth summoning for? Or do you think this clan is just a Christmas temptation to make us waste our summoning stones and money? Me personally, I cannot summon for them because I'm out of resources, since I just recently summoned for some other clan. But if I had the opportunity to choose which one of these champions to have in my team, I think I would most likely go for the male. He just sounds so interesting, since he can change forms and all. And yeah, I am curious as to how it will work out in battle. Anyways, which champion would you like to go for? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. And feel free to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed our content of today. I will see you all in the next video. Have an amazing day everyone. Take care, stay foxy, adios, bye.